We're in Saigon, Vietnam, and today's going to be all about the best street food here in Ho Chi Minh City.
We've got a bunch of street food gems lined up for you.
Wander the streets of Ho Chi Minh City and you'll be assailed with the intoxicating smells of the city's food culture. Saigon is a wonderland for people who are passionate about eating. This is our second video from Saigon and we're eating some of the city's best food. We share with you Saigon's most delicious Bun Me, one of the world's most beloved sandwiches, a small shopfront serving up an epic plate of broken rice, and delve into some of Saigon's best nighttime street eats. In this Saigon series, we'll show you some of the city's best food, from traditional Vietnamese dishes to iconic street food. You don't want to miss this series. Get ready for some mouth-watering food.
I'm Thomas.
And I'm Sheena, and we're chasing a plate.
We hope you're hungry. Let's eat. Ho Chi Minh City or Saigon is such an exciting city when it comes to street food. The amount of street food here is absolutely mind-boggling, probably a higher density and concentration than in any city we've ever been to. And we travel full-time to eat street food, so we've been to a lot of cities with a lot of street food. This place is incredible, and we're starting with one of the most famous Vietnamese street foods, and that's Bun Me. Let's go get this first eat.
Bun Me is one of the world's most famous sandwiches, and we have eaten our weight in Bun Me in Saigon in order to show you the best in this city. This one is a clear winner. Let's go and order. We've put in our Bun Me order at this little street cart, so we ordered a Bun Me tit, which is just a classic Vietnamese sandwich with cold cuts inside. But besides just being a street stall, this place is actually a bakery as well. So they bake their Bun Me, the bread rolls, in-house. So you can see those big ovens out there, and then also the fresh Bun Me, the fresh baguette, just hanging out in the window waiting to be eaten. And we have ordered, so a classic one with lots of cold cuts. There's mayonnaise going in there, there's pate, there's pickled daikon and carrot, there's coriander, all sorts. It's going to be amazing. Wow, don't worry about it, babe. We'll just eat it. Nóng quá. Come in. So, this is the little Bun Me stall, and I love these stalls because you can see all of the ingredients lined up. We have ordered a classic Bun Me, which is just made up of all sorts of different cold cuts. So you can see all the cold cuts lined up here. There's pork floss, there's radish, pickled carrots, coriander, all sorts. It's all stuffed into this. It's a really good one.
It has been a long but not very arduous road to get to this Bun Me. So we've been eating them all around town to find the best one for you guys. So that was not a hard task because these sandwiches are absolutely incredible. But it definitely, we realized that we'd found the one when we found this bakery. It's amazing. Look at this sandwich. So it's got this beautiful bread roll. So basically a little baguette. So the French did occupy Vietnam until 1954. That's where bread comes into it. So the bread came with the French to Vietnam. When they left, this sandwich got invented in 1954. So what the deal was the bread was eaten in the very standard European way when the French was here, just as bread, and they'd have cold cuts and things on the side. And then when the French left, the Vietnamese kept the bread, they took their ingredients and put them into that bread. And there's many versions of Bun Me, but this one is unreal. So you've got pate down there. That's obviously a leftover from the French as well. You can just see these cold cuts here. So we've got different styles of pork. So we've got sort of some ham and some pork underneath. We've got cucumber, we've got pickled daikon, carrot, a whole lot of coriander, some pork floss, some mayonnaise sticking out the end there, some chilies hiding in there to just make the most perfect little sandwich in the world. Oh. Now, with a Bun Me, I don't think the true joy comes until at least mouthful 3. So I gotta just keep going. So I'm starting to get in to that cross section, and that's what I mean by mouthful 3. You've got to get in there, get right to the heart of the sandwich, and find where the mayo and the pate and things are a bit thicker and stronger. There it is. Incredible. Oh. So you've got those different layers of meat. I can see 3 different styles of meat, and then the pate on top of that. I got some really strong chili, so very spicy, nice and sharp because it's a fresh chili. Coriander, very strong. Pickled veg cuts through those different, the fats in the meat. And then the mayonnaise is a little bit sweet. I love that they use mayonnaise as well, actually, because when the French were here, they used butter. But it doesn't fare very well in this weather. It's amazingly hot here. So the mayonnaise fares a bit better in this weather. Oh, this is such a good sandwich. So this bakery, like I said, when we found it, it just blew our minds because the quality of this sandwich is unreal. The bread is just so crispy on top, nice and fluffy inside. How good does that mouthful there look? Look at the sheen coming through from the mayonnaise. Now, I think I should probably talk about why we found that this sandwich was the best. Of all the ones we had, why did this one take the cake? And we had a lot of these on the build up to filming this piece for you. This one took the cake. For one, it's very simple. It just works. Other ones had too much meat, or the meat was cut too thickly, or they had too much mayonnaise or too little mayonnaise. This one was a perfect balance. The coriander is the perfect balance with the pate and the meat. It is absolute harmony as a sandwich. Absolute harmony. I love it. Sweet, spicy, salty, savory, perfectly put together. And just the joy of standing on the street here, eating a sandwich like this. I'm covered in crumbs because the bread is so flaky. And that is a very good sign, actually. Sheena said they bake the bread in-house, and that means a lot for a banh mi. So you know that roll is going to be as fresh as it can be. This is just one of those food moments that you absolutely dream about. And a sandwich that is just, it's life-changing. Honestly, life-changing, a sandwich like this. It is so well done and so delicious.
We love exploring Saigon on foot because you get to escape the big busy streets and wander down little laneways through our local markets. There's so much to see and it's so invigorating, this city. It's so exciting. We have just arrived at our next spot and I'm so excited to share this dish with you. It's one of my favorites to eat here in Vietnam and it is called Cơm Tấm, or broken rice. It's a dish that was born out of poverty and now has become the nation's most beloved dish, really. It's eaten for breakfast, lunch and dinner. Let's go and order. This restaurant is known for doing one of the best cơm tấm, or broken rices, in Saigon. It is super delicious. We ate here the other day. It was phenomenal. Can't wait to share it with you. Xin chào. How are you? Cơm tấm mực tôi. Beautiful. So I've just put in an order for broken rice, and it starts with the steamed broken rice. So you've got a huge plate of that here. And then next comes the toppings. So you can load up all sorts of things with the broken rice. So I have got the pork chop, I've got some steamed egg meatloaf, all sorts of things going on there. Nóng quá. It looks so good. Whoa, what a plate. Come on. Oh. I love broken rice, and this is the perfect setting to be able to enjoy this dish. So we're sitting in the laneway right next to the restaurant. There's a barrage of scooters rolling past. You get the smells of being out on the street. It is perfect. And then you've got this incredible looking dish. So the centerpiece of the dish is, of course, the broken rice. So let me show you. So you got the steamed broken rice here, and it's called broken rice because it is actually broken up. So it's structurally fragmented, and the rice gets broken up because it gets damaged during milling or in the transportation process. And it's basically a dish that was born out of poverty. So it used to be a poor person's dish because only poor people ate broken rice because they couldn't afford the long grain rice. But now it's become one of the nation's favorite dishes. People eat it all the time and everyone eats it because it is so delicious. All right, so what you've got also with the rice are the toppings. So you can choose all sorts of toppings. I went with the whole shebang because I'm super greedy and I wanted to share with you all the different toppings that you can get. So what we've got is a grilled pork chop. We've got here like a steamed egg meatloaf. So that's got egg, it's got bits of woody and mushroom, that's the black bit. It's got some pork in there. Then we've got some spring onions cooked in oil. And then we've got a fried egg on top. This here is pork skin. And then we've got some pickled daikon and pickled carrot. And then to go with it, we've got this dipping sauce. So this is a dipping sauce which is made up of fish sauce and vinegar and sugar. And what I'm going to do is actually just add some of this chili to it to give it a bit of kick. So this actually goes all over the plate. So I'm going to move the egg aside and make sure I've drenched the rice with that sauce. Okay, it's time to get in. All right, let me construct the perfect mouthful. So I'm going to get a huge dollop of that rice, a little bit of pork, some of this meatloaf, and then some pickles. All right. Oh. Holy moly, that is good. The rice is really, really soft. So it's steamed, it just falls apart in your mouth, soaked up all of that delicious fish sauce mixture. This is sweet, tangy, a little bit spicy because of the chili. This pork chop is so smoky and it's got this beautiful marinade on it, which is really sweet. Okay, assemble another mouthful. I want to get some of that pork skin. Look at that. Rice is flying all over the place because my plate is so full. All right. Oh. Man, that's good. The green onions have a really delicious aroma. The skin, a little bit chewy, but quite soft. And then that pork is just unreal. It is so smoky and sweet and tender. This is such a great plate, full of texture and flavor. It is delicious. It's now evening and Saigon comes alive with street food at night time. We have come to a really famous place. This place right here for Butch In, which is one of the most popular street foods here in Ho Chi Minh City. It's made up of a stir-fried rice flour and tapioca cake. Let's go in and order some. You can see them actually cooking right here at the front of the restaurant. The smell out here in front of the restaurant is just phenomenal. So this lady is cooking up the Butch In, which is like a cake made out of a rice and tapioca flour, and the smell is just heavenly. So she's stirring up the cubes of the Butch In and lots of oil at the moment. And it's sizzling and making such a delicious sound.
Our plate of Butch In has arrived, and it is a very pretty looking plate. Now, essentially what I think it looks like is a potato cake, but that is not what it is at all. These cubes, so you can see all these little cubes here, are made up of a rice and tapioca flour mixture, which they make into a cake. They steam, so they're steamed as a whole cake, then cut up into the little cubes, and then fried up, and that's how it's got that beautiful golden crispiness all around it. And then they've got some egg on top and some spring onion. But the things that comes with are quite interesting. So this is some shredded green papaya, and the deal is that we're going to dump a whole lot of that on top. Just basically cover it in that, and that'll give it a bit of crunch and a bit of freshness. And then we have this special sauce, which we're going to drown all over this. But I'm going to add some chili. Oh, these look fiery. Look at that chili. full of seeds as well. So we're going to add some chili to that special sauce, so that then when we spoon it all over, it's coated in everything. You know what? The spoon is way too slow. Let's just go to town. Or we've got those fiery chilies on there, and that sauce has gone down and it's running nicely into that tapioca and rice flour cake. All right, let's get a bit of everything. I want some of that green papaya coated in that chili. Whoa. It's not overly flavoursome. It's incredibly nice and very tasty, but it's not a huge, ridiculous burst of flavour. It's got a beautiful balance of salt and sweet. Now this secret sauce, finding it hard to pick what it could be. I'll just have some by itself. Oh, yum. Yeah, so a lot of the flavour is coming from that secret sauce. Tastes maybe like a little bit of soy in there. It's got quite a saltiness and quite a sweetness. Very tasty. Now, I didn't get some of the spring onions, so I just want some more spring onions. Oh yes, so golden. It's crispy on the outside, soft in the middle, perfectly fried up. It's not too oily, so they haven't coated it in so much oil that it's taken it all on. It is a great little snack. I can see why it's one of the city's most favourite street foods, because it's the sort of thing you're riding along on your scooter and you think to yourself, I want that, and you swing in and you eat it because it would just tickle your taste buds. It's a very good plate of food.
Now very conveniently, our next street food is only about 20 metres away from where we just ate, and it is this little pudding shop right here. So this stall, we ate here the other day and it was phenomenal. He sells a traditional Vietnamese desserts called chien. So we're going to go and order a couple of desserts. So this guy here is surrounded by all of these different pots of traditional desserts, and you can see everyone tucking into their desserts. It's great atmosphere, tiny little stools in this laneway tucking into their puddings. So we're going to order a couple of bowls of dê doi. Hi, dê doi, please. Come in. Come in. Oh, they look great. We've ordered up 2 bowls of dê doi. So dê is a traditional Vietnamese dessert. It's like a collective term for all sorts of puddings and desserts and drinks. And this one is made up of a coconut cream sauce. It's got tapioca, it's got banana, and it's got some peanuts. But before I get into the food, I just want to talk about the environment. It is quintessential Southeast Asia. So I've got the pudding stall right behind me. People gathered around the pudding stall, tucking into their puddings. People are driving up on their scooters. And then literally, look at this main road which we're right by. There's just so much traffic roaring past, and we're sitting here eating our hot puddings. It is so brilliant. I love Vietnam. Okay, so this is the dê doi, so you can see how gloopy it is. So this is the coconut milk or cream sauce, and then you can see the tapioca sort of threads in there. Got a bit of peanut, and also this here is the sweet banana. So let's just get into this thing. Whoa, that banana. It just bursts with flavour. It is so sweet. And this gloopy sauce. It's almost a little bit savoury. So the main sweetness is coming from the fruit, from that banana. There's not that much sweetness in the sauce. I love the crunch of the peanuts. I love sort of the gluggy tapioca. So good. I'm loving this experience. And look how many people there are now, all lining up for a taste of this guy's pudding. This is amazing.
We're in Saigon, Vietnam, and today's gonna be a bit,
This restaurant is known